The little sister was stuffed into an iron bucket full of honey. A straw was inserted and it was completely sealed. Then the bucket was pushed into a secret room filled with gasoline. As soon as the only air supply pipe was removed, a match was struck and thrown inside. The entire room was engulfed in flames. At that moment, the girl had to hold her breath for 10 minutes and endure extreme high-temperature treatment. The reason was that Swiwa had severe allergies since birth and couldn't come into contact with any bacteria. So they used high heat to sterilize everything and create a completely sterile environment. But as the honey slowly solidified in the intense heat, the girl inside the bucket fell unconscious. When the flames finally died down, everyone quickly cooled the room and pumped in a massive amount of inorganic oxygen. No matter how much they called her name, Swiwa didn't respond. Everyone was panicking, but if anyone entered the room, the whole attempt would fail. Just when they thought the rescue had failed, the hardened honey in the bucket suddenly cracked open and Swiwa emerged completely unharmed. All the symptoms on her body had disappeared. It turned out that Swiwa had an extremely weak immune system and had lived in a sterile inorganic warehouse since birth to avoid any bacteria. But a massive tornado swept through the town, collapsing the roof and bringing down a huge tree. While Phobole was trying to clear the branches, he didn't notice the high-voltage wires tangled in them. One tiny spark, and everyone would turn to ash. Seeing the sterile room about to be crushed, Swiwa hurriedly tried to brace the falling branches with an air-conditioning mattress. Suddenly, a high-voltage wire snapped, and fire broke out on the sterile warehouse. If they waited, the protective film would burn. Phobole quickly put on a temporary protective suit and pulled the girl out. The moment she was out, the entire warehouse collapsed. They thought they could get her safely to the hospital, but the material of the protective suit itself introduced bacteria. Huge pus-filled sores appeared on her body. She couldn't breathe, and she slipped into a coma. The hospital was hundreds of kilometers away. There was no way she'd make it. With no choice, they stopped at a construction site and hastily built a temporary sterile room. They put Swiwa in an airtight bucket, filled the room with alcohol, and set it on fire. As the high heat roasted everything, the honey slowly began to harden. At the right moment, they pumped in inorganic oxygen. This was the beginning of the story we saw. In the end, Swiwa broke out of the hardened honey completely cured. All allergic reactions were gone, and she was saved from the jaws of death. She was then taken to the hospital and began a new life. The video ends here. Moral of the story: whenever you face big trouble, never forget to ask Uncle Hat for help. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell button.